Smoking guns central bank digital currency news. The difference between a wholesale CBDC and a retail CBDC. We're going to dive straight into it. We have from the BIS, who just released a breaking news report on the unified ledger concept, has this from back in December 2019. Wholesale digital tokens. What's this all about? Let's dive into it. All right, so you have the table of contents, concepts, wholesale settlement, tokens as a settlement asset, peer-to-peer transfers, token arrangements, new settlement platforms, potential innovations using wholesale digital tokens, access to an alternative settlement asset, and other efficiency considerations. So traditionally, wholesale transactions are settled by updating balances and account records on centralized registers such as the ledger of a settlement institution. However, new technologies such as DLT make it possible to create digital tokens that could potentially be used as a settlement asset to effect settlement. This report focuses on the role of digital tokens as a mean of settling a wholesale transaction, saying several potential applications for wholesale tokens are being explored by the private sector and how they can be used for alternative payment arrangements. So it talks about how wholesale payments work today, but then it goes into new technologies opening up new ways to achieve settlement using digital tokens. As an example, new technologies could allow for assets to be tokenized and then transferred peer-to-peer without necessarily involving a central third party to effect settlement. Digital tokens could enhance wholesale payments by allowing the use of new settlement platforms based on DLT. This can in turn enable alternative access to settlement assets or enhance efficiency in other ways, such as more frequent settlement, longer availability, harmonized data standards, ISO 222, and for richer data/transparency. Although wholesale digital tokens could potentially provide benefits for financial markets, they are not without risk. So in the report, they talk about wholesale settlement. They discuss digital tokens used for wholesale settlement. Although the term wholesale can be used to describe a variety of characteristics, it typically includes large value transactions settled between financial institutions, usually banks, and the report excludes digital tokens held by retail customers, but does not attempt to further define a wholesale institution other than to assume there is some type of restriction on the institutions that can hold and transfer the token. There are access requirements for the arrangement. Although digital tokens can be used as a store of value, this analysis focuses on the role of digital tokens as a means of settling wholesale transactions. So potential innovations using wholesale digital tokens. Several potential applications for wholesale tokens are being explored by the private sector. While wholesale token arrangements could be developed simply for use as an alternative payment arrangement, much current work relates to supporting a potential new digital token ecosystem in which wholesale tokens would be used for the payment leg of transactions involving other digital assets. Whether tokens offer benefits as a settlement asset will depend on whether they can provide both improved safety and increased efficiency over traditional account-based settlement assets. So this is where Ripple and XRP and their central bank digital currency platform come into play. Because just 2 weeks ago, Colombia Central Bank to pilot Ripple's CBDC platform. And let's take a look at this. We see today Ripple announced that the Colombia Central Bank and Ministry of Information and Communication Technology will experiment with Ripple blockchain technology in its high-value payment system, wholesale. We just read about that. While it will use Ripple's CBDC platform underpinned by a private version of the XRP ledger, the central bank did not explicitly state it would trial a central bank digital currency or not. The minister from Colombia said it will provide a technological solution, a prototype, which will allow simulations of different use cases in the high-value payment system. So Ripple is clearly working towards wholesale token arrangements, wholesale CBDCs in that nature. And I can prove that from a document that stretches back, I think it was 2020, I'll show you. Yeah, so this was January 22nd, 2020, Central Bank Digital Currency Policymaker Toolkit from them, and let's open it up. So here it is, Center of Fourth Industrial Revolution, and now let me go to the part about wholesale CBDC. Most relevant for wholesale CBDC, crypto assets designed for inter or intra-bank payments and settlements, JPM coin and XRP. Noticed how there's nothing that says settlement there, nothing that says settlement here. Settlements. Crypto assets designed for inter or intra-bank payments and settlements, XRP. And we just went over this document. I'll go back to it. From the BIS, December 2019, so a month beforehand, talking about wholesale digital tokens and how you can use wholesale settlement for tokens as a settlement asset and new settlement platforms and access to an alternative settlement asset. So let's go into the most breaking news out of the BIS and go over this unified ledger and the IMF's global CBDC ledger and make some connections. So it highlights how the future monetary and financial system will improve on the old and enable the new. And examples of these possible innovations include new methods for security settlements that combine all the individual steps into one seamless transaction, tokenized deposits with built-in regulatory checks that simultaneously settle in wholesale CBDC. And then you have some other things here as well too, but I want to show you something. Talks about multiple ledgers, each with a specific use case, might coexist, interlinked by APIs to ensure interoperability, as well as promote financial inclusion and a level playing field. Ripple, that's like their tagline. It's what they've been saying for years now. All right, this is where it's all going to make sense. Achieving seamless interoperability through unified ledgers. The potential of tokenization lies in its ability to knit together transactions, and keep that knit word in mind when I show you something next. So to knit together transactions and operations that encompass money and a range of other assets that reside on the programmable platform. Money in tokenized form provides the essential means of payment that mirror the underlying economic transactions. At the heart of the system lies central bank money in tokenized form that facilitates settlement finality. So now let's go into what I think is taking form right now. But let me just go through this. The concept of a unified ledger does not mean one ledger to rule them all, just a sole ledger that overshadows all other systems in the economy. So it's like the overseer ledger. But let me show you this PDF document from 2017 that maps out our entire future till 2025 and how this is all connected to it. From the Internet of Information, which was from basically 1950s to 2004, to the Internet of Value from 2009 all the way till 2025, and then it maps it out for 2025 to 2030. But as I roll down here, it spells it all out. As banks and other financial institutions adopt open standards like Interledger Protocol to connect between each other and with blockchain networks, we'll see the Internet of Value emerge. Cross-border real-time gross settlement, 2020 to 2025. We're about a year and a half away from full completion. But as you can see, the different countries, the different local payment systems, the different real-time gross settlement systems, a global real-time gross settlement system, bang, central banks and LPs. Then you have ILP in here connecting and being that ledger to overshadow all the other ones. And I'll show you the next document to show you that. Right here, Interledger, enabling interoperability across platforms 2020 to 2025. You have these money networks, these different countries, the different payment systems, the global real-time gross settlement system, central banks connected to blockchains and DLTs, these platforms, to capital markets, to trade finance, to Internet of Things, to payment platforms, to marketplaces, to other platforms. Literally, what I believe is, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, Interledger Protocol is going to enable this common unified ledger that shadows all the other ledgers and to enable that seamless transfer of tokenized assets with XRP right here serving as the world's open and neutral liquidity marketplace, where you have all these different things, and XRP serving as that value transfer, value exchange mechanism. XRP is the native asset of the XRP ledger, and its advantages that make it unique for bridging cross-currency payments. Over time, as banks adopt Ripple's distributed ledger solution for international payments and payment service providers take advantage of the cross-currency real-time gross settlement capability and the neutral liquidity marketplace provided by the XRP ledger, the transaction volumes of the network will grow massively. XRP is poised to become the best liquidity vehicle for international funds transfers, a market with an annual volume of 180 trillion in payment. We're sitting at the precipice of the greatest opportunity ever in our lifetimes that we can capitalize on this. So click the link in the bio, come to the Discord. If you're an XRP holder or XLM holder, Join the Discord. It's Rob at Stargate. When you get there, say what up. I'll say what up back.